Hi, sinners. Where do I even begin? I don't mean to kill the vibes right away, but we can't proceed without addressing the elephant in the room. As you know, I've neither produced nor published any music, ever. I've also never expressed interest in pursuing music, and probably never will. Yet, despite all my contributions to the music industry this year, I received 0 Grammy nominations. I didn't work this little for nothing. I'm hurt, I'm confused, and also a little bit hungry, but that last one's irrelevant. There's always next time, I guess. But even though the Recording Academy skunked me for the first year in a row, I still think this was one of the better Grammy Award shows in recent years. History was made several times that night, performances were electric, and Trevor Noah was funnier than ever.
Let me tell you what this night is, right? We're gonna be honoring the best in music as voted on by the 13,000 members of the Recording Academy and 20 million illegal immigrants. And tonight, no matter what happens, history will be made.
Of course, no star-studded event like the Grammys is complete without some messiness. In fact, one of the first big controversies took place before anyone even stepped foot on stage. Now, no award show or premiere is complete without a red carpet, and no red carpet is complete without red carpet interviews. And these interviews can be great, not only because we get to hear more from our favorite artists directly, but also because we get to see their media training in action.
Dream guest on my podcast?
Or lack thereof. As it turns out, celebrities aren't the only ones who need to learn red carpet decorum. While reporters Christophoria and Leslie Ambrose were interviewing R&B singer and producer Babyface for the Associated Press's YouTube live stream, the former spotted Chappell Roan walking behind him. And based on her body language, it's clear that she's very excited. And look, I'm right there with her. But she soon lost me after doing this.
It's interesting.
Chappell.
You guys want to do that? Go do that.
So sorry, baby. I have access. Hello. How's it going, Chappell?
That's right. This journalist cut Babyface off mid-interview to get Chappell Roan's attention. And when he was like, "Should I go?" you can tell her co-host was trying her darndest to save face. It's been over a week since this clip went viral at this point, and only recently have I been able to sit through the whole thing. Just her yelling "Chappell" while Babyface is speaking makes me want to crawl into a hole and not come out for a very long time. It was definitely a full-body cringe moment on my end. Look, I'd also wriggle with joy if Chappell Roan were standing 5 feet away from me. But this is your job. You can't be fangirling on the clock. If we were to look at this like a quote-unquote regular work event or just any type of social gathering, you don't cut someone off as soon as you spot someone better to talk to. That's just plain rude. Believe it or not, there is a world where they could have wrapped this interview up professionally, or at least let Babyface finish his goddamn thought and still speak to Chappell Roan. Furthermore, to treat such a talented and seasoned artist like this just adds to the disrespect. Now, I've known of Babyface for a while. I know he makes music, but I didn't realize just how famous he was until recently. In case you also live under a rock, hello neighbor. Not only does Babyface have several hit songs under his belt, but he's also worked with some of the biggest names in music over the past 50 years, like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, and Celine Dion, which in turn has made Babyface a big name in music in his own right. And even if he wasn't Babyface, even if he was only an up-and-coming artist, even if he was the janitor, you don't treat someone like this. Thankfully, Christophoria was rightfully called out for her unprofessionalism. You know you f***ed up when a member of one of Hollywood's worst families is clocking your bullshit. This is so disrespectful how Babyface was treated in this interview. Babyface has had such a significant impact on the music industry in so many ways. It's maddening to see a legend not get the respect and attention they deserve. He is a pioneer and deserves so much better than this. With decades of groundbreaking work as a songwriter, producer, and performer, he shaped the sound of multiple generations. I love you at Babyface, and I am a forever fan and thankful for all that you have have blessed us with. By the way, what a class act you are. Here I thought I'd agree with the Kardashian when hell freezes over. Broken clocks or whatever. Though it seems that Foria knew she royally messed up because she apologized towards the end of the live stream.
I'm really sorry about interrupting Babyface earlier. Chappell Roan had come up and there was a lot of commotion as there is on these carpets, but I'm a big Babyface fan and as are we all, and so I just wanted to say that I really apologize. But thank you so much for having me, you guys.
I love how you could tell by the end that she knew this would be her last red carpet for a while. Then the Associated Press issued an apology on social media the following day. We are deeply sorry for cutting our interview with Babyface short on our YouTube live stream of the Grammys red carpet. We have apologized to him through his representative and to our viewers on the live stream. A lot of people were calling for the Associated Press to fire her, which I don't know if I fully agree with, but at the very least, she should step down from doing live interviews in the near future. And perhaps the distant future too. While Chappell Roan was merely a bystander in this situation, she also had a standout moment of her own on the red carpet. In an interview with GLAAD, the host asked for her thoughts on the Trump administration and its negative impact on the LGBTQ+ community in recent weeks.
It's brutal right now, but trans people have always existed and they will forever exist, and they will never, no matter what happens, take trans joy away, and that has to be protected more than anything, because I would not be here without trans girls.
She went on to attribute her career to the gay icons that came before her, like Madonna, Nicki, and Rihanna.
It's the girls who made it mainstream. Like, a lot of people walked so I could run, that we, you know, there's been so many women, like, over the decades and decades of, like, you know, their sexuality being really represented in pop, from disco to Madonna to, like, down to the 2000s, Rihanna, like Nicki, just like a lot of people sacrificed a lot so I could be here.
Now, Chappell's always been that girl for me because she is never afraid to speak her mind, despite that trait coming at a detriment to her reputation every now and then. Still, she is someone who the LGBTQ community needs right now. She's not the be-all, end-all for queer representation, obviously. And, as she said, the people who paved the way sacrificed a lot for her to be in this position. We're living in a time where human rights are withering before our eyes. As we watch the Musk administration try to beat Germany's record to dismantle our democracy, I think a lot of us feel disenfranchised right now. So it's empowering to see an openly queer artist stand up for trans people on a mainstream platform like the Grammys. I think this is also why her live performance of Pink Pony Club resonated with a lot of viewers. It describes embracing your true self at the risk of rejection by those around you. Do you know how cool it is to see a lesbian perform a song like that on live TV and have the entire audience sing along? So to all my trans sinners watching right now, just know that Chappell's here for you, your community's here for you, and most importantly, I'm here for you. Turn around.
I'm in your walls. Please let me out.
In the meantime, let's hear a word from today's sponsor. Hi, sinners. It's time we shake things up this Valentine's Day. Ditch the roses, chocolates, your ex, especially your ex, because nothing beats the gift of pleasure. Whether you're coupled up or flying solo, today's sponsor Lilo will make this season of love one you'll never forget. Lilo is the luxury pleasure brand, leading the market in design, innovation, technology, and reputation. Lilo knows that satisfaction is for everyone, no matter your gender, age, race, or sexuality. These are just two of many reasons why Lilo is my go-to brand for adult toys, like the Enigma Double Sonic. Its deep sonic technology is designed to stimulate the A-spot, a sensitive area about 2 inches deeper than the G-spot, with its sonic tip on the insertable tail. The Enigma Double Sonic also utilizes Sensonic technology, offering gentle yet fast stimulation for ultimate pleasure. You can also connect your Enigma Double Sonic to Lilo's official app to customize your experience even more. So, enough with the cliches this Valentine's Day. Head to Lilo using my link below to unlock deals up to 50% off, and make sure to use code Annamarie15 at checkout to get an additional 15% off your purchase. That's code Annamarie15 for 15% off using my link in the description. So shout out to Lilo for always supporting the channel, and I hope they make your Valentine's Day just a little more pleasurable. Now let's get back to your scheduled programming. So we discussed Chappell's performance briefly before the commercial break. Now let's get into some other iconic performances from that night, like Doechii. Fun fact, Doechii and I actually share a birthday, which I think is pretty cool. It's almost like we're destined to be best friends. Like many people probably, because she's really blown up over the past couple months. I was introduced to Doechii's music when her Tiny Desk performance went viral. It just feels like she brings something new to the scene. Her music is a mix of like hip hop, jazz, and theater, and I don't know, she's just such a breath of fresh air. And I'm putting an emphasis on theater too because I spotted the theater kid energy right away. But this was a historic night for Doechii because she is the third woman in Grammy's history to win Best Rap Album. I believe Lauryn Hill won Best Rap Album in like the late 90s, and then Cardi B won like 5 or 6 years ago. It's crazy that it's only been 3 women though. But in her acceptance speech, Doechii dedicated the award to young black girls everywhere and encouraged them to follow their dreams.
I know that there is some black girl out there, so many black women out there that are watching me right now, and I want to tell you, you can do it. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Don't allow anybody to project any stereotypes on you that tell you that you can't be here, that you're too dark, or that you're not smart enough, or that you're too dramatic, or you're too loud. You are exactly who you need to be.
Not gonna lie, someone was definitely cutting onions next to me the first time I watched it. It was just such a beautiful moment. You can sense her gratitude right through the screen. And I have no doubt that she's gonna be making big moves over the next few years. This was truly her night because she also gave one of the best live performances I've ever seen at the Grammys. The costumes were fantastic, the dancing was incredible, and her energy is just so infectious. She has so much charisma and authenticity when she performs. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm a huge Doechii fan. And another amazing performance from the Grammys was Sabrina Carpenter. I gotta say, her comedic timing is so good. I find that some pop artists are afraid to look a little silly, but Sabrina just goes for it. It probably stems from the fact that she was a child actress, and she even performed on Broadway for like 2 nights in 2020 before the whole world shut down. One performer that surprised me was Ray. Like, the vocals on that woman is just mind-blowing. I could see her playing Betty Boop in a live-action film. The one thing I did notice was that Ray let the dogs out while she was performing. Like, she is known for performing barefoot. And I don't know if that has to do with like feeling the vibrations of the music or something. I don't know if that's like a functional thing or if that's just like a Ray thing. But good for her, I guess. Love that for her. My only criticism is that it just seems like very unhygienic. Like, what if you step on a nail or a wire? And of course, we can't talk about Grammy performances without addressing Benson grabbing his booner. Benson Boone performed his one song. He wore like a tearaway suit that revealed a powder blue jumpsuit underneath. The vibe that he's always given me is like Harry Styles if he was a youth pastor, which is kind of fitting because apparently Benson Boone is Mormon. Like, hello? Is it just me or have there been a rise in Mormon public figures in recent years? I just feel like they've been popping up left and right lately. And I know I probably sound like I hate Benson Boone right now, but I do think he has a decent voice. His music is not my thing, but I get the appeal. Although I've seen many people online call him Imagine Dragons for Gen Z, and like, that is unfortunately very accurate. His music does have a millennial sound to it. And I say that in a neutral way, but I'm sure people are gonna assign positive and negative connotations to it. He makes millennial music, yet he's only 22 years old. I feel like I'm approaching the age where pop stars are getting younger and younger and younger, and I don't know how to feel about that. Now, this person didn't perform at the Grammys, but I feel like it would be unfair to make a video on the 2025 Grammy Awards without mentioning Kendrick Lamar. This was his year. He made a clean sweep at the Grammys. He won all 5 awards that he was nominated for, including 2 of the big 4 for Record of the Year and Song of the Year. It just goes to show that being a hater does pay off sometimes. Enough with this toxic positivity bullshit. I just know Drake was sick that night. To have the whole crowd singing a song describing you as a is just crazy. I'm sure Drake will always have his hardcore fans, but like to a casual audience, like he's done for. And it was a cutie patootie leading the charge too. Drake is not going to be able to show his face in public in a while. And speaking of showing your face in public, I need to ask, why do we keep inviting Joy Villa to things? Now, if you don't know who Joy Villa is, you're not familiar with her lore. She is a musician, actress, Christian, Trump supporter, She does it all. She is most notorious for showing up to every single Grammys red carpet in the most atrocious outfits you've ever seen. And people are just wondering, like, how is she getting invited to these things? Respectfully, famous Instagram influencer Matt Bernstein actually did a deep dive on her, which kind of explained her backstory and why she's always at these award shows. So she may or may not be a Nepo baby. Her great uncle was Kenny Haggard, who was a famous American jazz vocalist in the 1900s, but I'm not sure if his name has much of a pull in the music industry these days. She was on Trump's campaign advisory board in 2017. She's an avid QAnon supporter. I think that speaks for itself. And she also describes herself as a Christian Scientologist. And apparently she's pretty well connected in the Scientology world too. So from what I know, there are like different levels to Scientology based on how much you donate to the church. And Joy Villa is considered a patron meritorious donor because her and her now ex-husband donated over $250,000 to the Church of Scientology in 2016. So it makes me wonder if her connection to the Church of Scientology has helped Joy Villa gain access to big events like the Grammys, but she certainly made the most of her time on the red carpet because her outfits, her sense of style is very, como se dice, interesting. And I feel like it's only appropriate that we go through all of them. So her first ever Grammys red carpet was in 2015, 10 years ago, and she wore this little orange construction tape number. And honestly, get the pitchforks out, but it's honestly kind of camp. Like if she made this for a design challenge on RuPaul's Drag Race, she would be safe. If she stuck with this camp fun style with dresses made out of random materials, I would be all for Joy Villa. Unfortunately though, Joy did drop the ball the next year. It's giving like Medusa and also a fossilized rib cage. Something about it makes me feel very uneasy. She went for it, I'll give her that. But that's about it. The purple lipstick does look very nice on her. And then this is where shit starts to get weird. So the 2017 Grammys were the first Grammys where Trump was in office, and boy did she take the Grammys red carpet by storm, just like her fellow Trump supporters did a few years later at the White House. It's the dress is basically a bedazzled Make America Great Again flag with a mermaid silhouette. I'm obsessed with the clutch though. If this were just like a regular blue dress, I think it would look pretty decent on her, although the top does kind of give apron. I don't know, it's just like so corny. The silhouette looks nice on her, so I don't think this would have landed her on the bottom too if she were on RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't know why I keep bringing up RuPaul throughout all this. You know what, let's actually review it like we're on RuPaul's Drag Race, like I am a judge, like I am RuPaul herself. Joy Villa, you say you want to make America great again, but your outfit left us feeling worse. I'm sorry, my dear, but you are up for elimination. And somehow Joy managed to one-up herself for the 2019 Grammys. There's no nice way to put it. This dress is hideous. This all looks like it was colored with Crayola markers on the limo ride there. And again, it's just so f***ing corny. Joy Villa, you want to protect the fetus, but unfortunately, this dress did not feed us. I'm sorry, my dear, but you are up for elimination. That's crazy. Oh my God. I think I cemented my one-way trip to hell. It just keeps getting worse and worse because I fear this next one is the fuggliest dress of them all. So the outer layer, she is dressed like a fence. She has the barbed wire around her neck. It looks like the purse is in the shape of a brick, but the gag is it's a tearaway to an even uglier dress underneath with a brick pattern on it, and then it says build the wall on the back. Mama, this is garbage. She has to know this looks bad, right? Who is she doing this for? Like, obviously she wants the attention because every year she wears these monstrosities to an award show. She is in the news. After a while, you gotta stop embarrassing yourself. Unless she's just like doing this for her own enjoyment, which I kinda love. Like, I hate it, but I love it, you know? Joy Villa, while Trump is building the wall, your dress left us on the fence. I'm sorry, my dear, but you are up for elimination. You guys are so sick of me. And then for the 2020 Grammys, before the whole world went to shit, she showed up in this red leather tragedy. This one's definitely weaker than her past looks. Besides like the obnoxiously large flapper feather over her right ear, it's just like, it's not giving anything. But I will say, Joy Villa did pull through with the ugliest outfit of them all for this year's Grammys, and I am so excited to show you. So clearly Joy loves a headpiece, and this year she decided to go for a red cap that says "the hat stays on," which happens to pair very nicely with her gold dress endowed with a bunch of meme coin stickers and then this giant like Dogecoin necklace. This is fashion, if I've ever seen it. Without the crypto meme paraphernalia, the gold dress does look nice on her. So Joy was actually asked about her look for this year's red carpet, which how could you not ask what the is going on? And this is what she had to say.
Talk to me about this look tonight.
Yes, so this look is all about American exceptionalism, freedom. So the hat stays on. They try to kill Trump. He's still alive, thank God. All right, the dress is by Andre Soriano, a gay Filipino immigrant. It represents cryptocurrency, which is definitely the new wave of freedom. And I'm here to make America glamorous again.
Oh boy.
I've had a lot of naysayers and haters over the years. What do you say to them?
I say, I'm back. Nobody's going to stop me. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. God is the God of this world. Whether people try to say, I'm going to do satanic music, I'm going to do all this stuff. Well, I want to bring God back into the lives of Hollywood. I want to bring, family values back into Hollywood. And they're going to see my music, they're going to see my movies, and they don't have to like it. But you're not going to shut me down. You're not going to stop me from speaking.
Not her threatening to release more music. Oh no! Nothing says bringing God and family values back to Hollywood like supporting a sexual predator in office. With that being said, I am excited to see what stunts she pulls for the 2026 Grammys. We'll check back in a year from now. Thankfully, Joy was not the only one to make a statement about the current state of the world right now. There are some celebrities that are on the right side of history.
And I just want to say tonight that trans people are not invisible. Trans people deserve love. The queer community deserves to be lifted up. Music is love. Thank you.
I mean, she's been an outspoken LGBTQ plus rights activist for years, and she's also bisexual herself, which I think a lot of people forget. Unlike Trevor Noah, who made a tasteless joke about immigration, Shakira dedicated her award to immigrants.
I want to dedicate this award to all my immigrant brothers and sisters in this country. You're loved, you're worth it, and I will always fight with you. And to all of those women who work really hard every day to provide for their families, you are the true she-wolves. So this is for you too.
And going back to Chappell Roan, she also used her acceptance speech as a means to make a statement. When Chappell won the award for Best New Artist, she said she wants to use her platform to advocate for paying artists livable wages and getting proper health care.
I told myself if I ever won a Grammy and I got to stand up here in front of the most powerful people in music, I would demand that labels and the industry profiting millions of dollars off of artists would offer a livable wage and health care, especially to developing artists. Because I got signed so young, I got signed as a minor, and when I got dropped, I had 0 job experience under my belt, and like most people, I had a difficult time finding a job in the pandemic and could not afford health insurance. And if my label would have prioritized artist health, I could have been provided care by a company I was giving everything to.
While most people were on board with Chappell's acceptance speech, others were not having it, like Jeff Rabin. Jeff Rabin wrote a hit piece for The Hollywood Reporter titled "Chappell Grown: The Misguided Rhetoric of an Instant Industry Insider." Throughout the article, he basically calls her uninformed and naive for campaigning for artists to be paid livable wages by the record companies they're under. Roan gets respect and true appreciation appreciation for her artistry and gumption, but is far too green and too uninformed to be the agent of change she aspires to be today. She may evolve quickly, perhaps build a confab of power-wielding playmakers, or even pass the torch to another leader-to-be, but her Grammy speech was a hackneyed and plagiarized script of an artist basking in industry love while broadcasting naivete and taking aim at the very machine that got her there. If labels were responsible for artists' wages, healthcare, and overall well-being, where does it end and personal responsibility begin? It's giving, boomer. Imagine believing that it's unreasonable to ask your employer to pay you fairly and cover your healthcare. Could the system be better? Sure. Should artists get better deals? Absolutely. But Roan's speech lacked the nuance and industry awareness to build any consensus or even speak to the priorities of an artist's platform of issues. Demanding that labels pay artists like salaried employees ignores the fundamental economic structure of the business. These poor executives, if they paid their artists fairly, they wouldn't be able to buy their 10th yacht of the year. No one is forcing artists to sign deals. For the 1 millionth time, if they don't like the terms, they can stay independent, own their masters, and take the financial risks themselves. Would you be surprised to learn that Jeff Rabin used to be the senior director of A&R at Atlantic Records, or a former executive at Elektra Records, and also a former music industry executive and the chair of the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music at NYU, and that his current net worth is around $22.5 million? Gee, I wonder why Chappell's acceptance speech ruffled his feathers. So Chappell, being the woman she is, responded to Rabin's claims from his article. Sharing my personal experience on the Grammy stage wasn't meant to be a crowd-funded band-aid, but a call to action to the leaders of the industry to step up, help us make real change, and protect their investments in a sustainable way. My mind will not be changed about artists deserving more than what's standard in the industry. Random dudes are allowed to criticize my Grammy speech, but they best put their money where their mouth is, otherwise move out of the way. And then Chappell challenged Jeff Rabin to put his money where his mouth is and match her $25,000 donation. To which Rabin responded with, "Who thought it was a good idea to publicly challenge an educator to make a $25K one-upping contest? Really? Do you know what teachers make? Right idea pointed in the wrong direction. Someone around you should have advised you to put up $25K before Sunday to challenge the industry to match. You have collected from everyone and they would have felt good about doing it on Grammy night. If we're to believe Google, then $25K is just a drop in the bucket for you." But unlike Mr. Rabin, Chappell actually put her money where her mouth is by donating $25,000 and forming a partnership with Backline, an organization focused on the mental health and wellness of those in the music industry. Other major artists like Noah Kahan, Charlie XCX, and Sabrina Carpenter also put their money where their mouth is, which has also inspired other organizations and people to donate to Backline. And yet, not a word from Jeff Rabin on his donation. Speaking of millionaires going on a rampage, we have to talk about Kanye West. Derogatory. Despite not being invited to the Grammys this year, Kanye West decided to show up anyway with his wife, Bianca Censori. The two began dating in December 2022 and got married a year later. Apparently, Censori is or was the head of architecture at Yeezy, whatever that means, and she's also a model. So like I said, West and Censori crashed the Grammys red carpet this year. And the latter rocked a sheer mini dress and no undies of any kind. This led to a lot of speculation on their relationship. People started calling Bianca Censori the battered wife based on how West was talking to her in certain interviews, and people claimed that she seemed out of it or even drugged while she was on the carpet. Notorious ex-gay conservative Milo Yiannopoulos, who famously said that sex between 13-year-old boys and adult men can be a good thing and beneficial for the child. I wish I was kidding. Went on to say that battered wife syndrome isn't real. And of course, since he and Kanye West are good friends, he is going to come out in defense, and also just because he's a racist, misogynistic, homophobic piece of shit. So West and Censori were swiftly kicked out of the event, and this led West to go on a rampage on Twitter, which is like the first time in a while that's happened. Here's just a few of his many disgusting tweets from his tirade. Jewish people actually hate white people and use black people. I say whatever the fuck I want, pussies. I'm a Nazi. I love Hitler. Now what, bitches? And then to top it all off, he started selling swag shirts, which was allegedly taken down by Shopify after all the merch sold out. The fact that one person would buy that merch is incomprehensible to me, much less hundreds or even thousands of people. There was a point in time where I had some sympathy to Kanye West because he's clearly a mentally unwell person, and he has not been given the resources and treatment he desperately needs. But he has done irreparable damage and has spread such horrible racist rhetoric over the past few years, and he shouldn't have a platform. People need to stop giving him the time of day. And it also makes me concerned for Censori because she looked out of it in that video, and I wonder if she was coerced into wearing what little she did on the red carpet. I don't know. I just hope we never hear from Kanye West ever again. But I want to end this video on a good note. So last but definitely not least, we have to celebrate Beyoncé winning Album of the Year. This is definitely long overdue. While I'm biased towards the rise and fall of a Midwest princess and Short and Sweet, I do feel like Beyoncé deserved the Album of the Year win. Beyoncé was also the first Black woman to win Album of the Year in the 21st century, which is insane to me. This should have happened a long time ago. In 2017, for example, she should have won Album of the Year for Lemonade. That is arguably my favorite Beyoncé album. But of course, a lot of people took to social media to talk about how Beyoncé didn't deserve the Album of the Year win and it should have gone to Billie Eilish or anyone else. And to that, I have to say, did we listen to the same album? Cowboy Carter was incredible. But I think what stirred people up even more was the fact that Beyoncé also won the Country Album of the Year award. People were claiming that it was because of DEI that she won. I mean, let's use critical thinking for a second. Beyoncé was born and raised in Houston, Texas, and the album is literally named Cowboy Carter. How much more country can you get? But we know why people have an issue with this. But to anyone watching who has an issue with Beyoncé winning Album of the Year, cope harder, maybe develop some taste, maybe take an actual listen to Cowboy Carter and you'll realize why she won. But yeah, those are my jumbled thoughts on this year's Grammys. Part of this video was scripted and part of it was just me yapping and kikiing with you all. But let me know what you thought of this year's Grammys down below. I'm so curious to hear your thoughts. If you'd like me to talk about more award shows in the future, also please let me know. And in general, if there's anything you'd like me to talk about in a future video, I have a Google form linked in the description where you could submit your video ideas. But thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a tiny thumbs up and subscribe down below. Thank you to Lilo for sponsoring. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Beyoncé. I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.